How's everybody doing?
Great.
We can do better than that. How you doing?
Great.
Good. I see a lot of new faces. As a matter of fact, most of the crowd is all new faces. This is really nice. Let me tell you something a little bit about creative workshops. We're an acting school, of course, and we base all the work here on the ability to support another individual. We really do. That's the whole premise upon which the school rests. For example, your job would be to make her look good, and her job would be to make you look good. But don't worry, honey, because she's going to make everybody else look good. Okay? And you all got your work cut out for you. And I really do believe this. It really does just kind of work. Well, I kind of think, and we're going to get the show going in just a couple minutes, that in order to support somebody, you first have to know who you're supporting. Don't you agree with me?
Yeah.
Come on, work with me, work with me. Don't you agree with me?
Absolutely.
Don't you? I'm working a single tonight, you know? So let's do a little game here. We play lots of games at Creative Workshops to warm you up and to, just relax you a little bit, okay? And we're all in this together. I'll explain to you a little bit more about what this show is in about a couple minutes. But first, let's get to know each other a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Here's what I want you to do. I like that. Here's what I want you to do. I want everybody first to stand up. Company can do this too. The company's going to join us in this. Yeah. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to turn to the person next to you, or in back of you if you don't have somebody. Company, work with the group too. Company, work with the audience too. I want you to. Yeah, you'll do this. This is real easy. Turn to the person next to you. Hold on. God, they're doing it right. Turn to the person next to you. I'll give you your first acting lesson. Hold on, I'll give you your first acting lesson. See the person in front of you. Introduce yourself. No, introduce yourself, even if you know the person. No, I want you to do something else. Hold on. God, this group is just ready to go. Damn, babies. Here's what I want you to do. Hold on. Listen, don't have too much of a good time in here. You're going to ruin my reputation in this town, okay? Here's what I want you to do. See the person, and I want you to find something about that person that you like. Something impersonal. I'm not from the school of psychodrama. Like, I like your necklace. Find something about that person you like and tell them. Something simple. Good. That's good. Now, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to do... Here's what I want you to do. Hold on. I'll do the shortened version of it. I want you to go up to as many people as you can in this room. I'll stop it. Introduce yourself, find one thing about them that you like, tell them, and move on to the next. So let's get to know each other here. Come on, guys. You're gonna do it. Come on. We're on this thing together.
Jackie Jones, what's your name? My name is Tammy. Am I hurting you?
Not at all. I love the ring.
Oh, thank you. I have no idea what kind of style is that. I don't even know what that is.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Andy. Well, nice to meet you. Right, having fun. Gabriella.
Tammy, I like your eyes. I like your smile.
Occupied. Thank you. You're such a good person. Welcome. Hi. How you doing? I'm Gabriella. Nice to meet you,
What they call all the television sets.
Nice to meet you, Jackie. I like your glasses. My husband always say hi. I like a nice smile. I hope that's true.
You gotta bring me in.
Oh, thank you. I'm a massage therapist.
Hi, how are you? Ooh, ow, what hurt me, girl? Hi, Lane. I like your glasses.
It's nice to meet you. Great hearing.
She must be the youngest one in the building. So she on the right or the left? What's mine? Tammy. This is Jackie.
That's yours.
Oh, you don't live in Memphis? I do.
Where it's
Different? No, it's not.
Have a seat.
Andy, you know everybody now? Do you know everybody now? That's all. We'll talk later.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Come on, everybody. Have a seat. Huh? 1 hour. About an hour. It's not long. All right, everybody, have a seat. Come on, ready to begin. Lolita, everybody, come on, ready to go. Can't you feel the love in the room now? Isn't that better? What you're about to see is a workshop production, which means this is a work in progress. Lisa will explain to you how the book came about and give you a lot of information. But this is the first, as we call it, the first incarnation of the book. What I wanted on the first time was to see how it fit. Yeah, you have to leave that bench alone there. You're going to have to stand on the other side of that. Okay, sorry. Okay, what you're going to see is the first incarnation. What I wanted to see and hear was what happens to the text when we lift it out of the page and put it in front of people, because the book obviously is comprised of letters, which is a different way of expression. It's a little bit more formal. So I wanted to see how this can start to be dramatized. What you're going to see tonight are just some of the letters dramatized. The next incarnation of this, which we're going to start actually in 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to start to add skits out of improvisation. We're going to start the first scripted work of it. So it's really going to be quite an interesting evolution, and you're seeing the first thing tonight. But I want to see how this impacts on an audience. And from what I've seen, well, you tell me afterwards. We'll get to talk about it. We will have a question and answer period after the show, if you'd like to stay for it and ask questions of Lisa, myself, and certainly the company about how we did it and what we're doing and what we also plan to do. We'd love to hear your feedback also. And I just want you to have a good time and take a look at this and know that it is a work in progress. We're not trying to present a finished work yet. We're just getting this thing going. But the response from people who have seen it, and even, it's just been incredible. It has something magical about it. But I'm going to let you be the judge of that. Okay? I think that'll do it. What I'd like to do to start the show is, first of all, let me first introduce the company to you because I don't have programs. So all of you just stand up and say your names, first of all.
I'm Vivi. I'm Betty.
My name is Kevin.
Hi, I'm Tony.
Hi, I'm Lourdes. Hi, I'm Brandon.
Hi, I'm Ariel.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
Hi, I'm Gabby. I'm Lavita.
I'm Katya.
I'm John.
And once again, I'm Stuart. I'm going to be your guide through all this. I'm going to let Lisa tell you the evolution of the book and how this all happened, okay? I'm going to turn it over to her. Enjoy the show, and I look forward to talking with you all afterwards, okay? Enjoy yourself. This is Lisa Delman, ladies and gentlemen.
To much of my surprise, this has really unfolded very magically. Dear Mom, I've always wanted you to know. I know that I'm the author of the book, but I also did not realize that it would unfold in this way, in a play version, in a work in progress. And it's very, very cool to see the letters come to life, to have people actually act them out. But the way this all started briefly is that in 1998, my mother had a massive heart attack, and she had a 20% chance to live. And during that time, I asked one question, which was, what if I'm never able to speak to her again? And given, this is a story that we can all relate to within our hearts, is that, I really wanted to just tell her my newfound appreciation for her and really get a second chance to enjoy her the way that I saw her at that point. And so she did miraculously recover, but I went through quite a grieving process, and I wrote her 11 letters to tell her how I felt, just expressing to her my appreciation, like I said, many different subject areas, and I put them in a photo album and I gave them to her. And something very magical happened when I gave them to her. She was on her way to recovery, but it made her feel better, and it actually did make her heal more, and actually healed me too. So there was a stronger bond. I can't really explain it to you in words, but there was just such a strong bond that happened between my mother and I. Before that, we were always close, but we became closer because of her call that she almost passed away. And it is quite a miracle that she did recover. And I'm sorry she can't be here tonight. She lives in Boca, but she'll be to the next one. And just to give you a brief overview of the way the letters turned into a book was that I saw that there was a need for people to express themselves in a sacred way. So I was working full time. I just decided to create a website, a sacred place where people could express themselves. And I put letter writing prompts and all these things on the website. And I started with daughter to mother because that was my personal experience. And I received letters from all over the world, from daughters to mothers, mothers that have passed away, mothers that are alive, but basically they were there to express themselves, to liberate themselves. A lot of the daughters didn't even give the letters to their mother because, like I said, some of the mothers were passed away, and some of them weren't, and they did give the letters, but I didn't persuade them any particular way to give the letters or not. I just wanted to help people express themselves, and the fact that there was a sacred space, a private space for people to express themselves, and they were able to say what really was in their heart. And that space gave them the permission. So then what ended up happening was it became this big thing, and this is a finished product which came out by Penguin in April of last year, 2005. And like Stuart said, it just has a very, very magical quality to it. I can't express it, I don't think, in words either. It just keeps on unfolding in all these wonderful ways. And I really do feel it's because of what's inside the book. We can all relate to it. It's the essence of being a human being. It's what moves us. It's what connects us. And that's what you're going to see tonight is this first reading of these people, of these actors and actresses expressing that in words and dramatizing it. So I hope you enjoy the show. I wanted to give you a little introduction, and I'm really impressed by these actors and actresses. This is a first for me too. We started about 8 weeks ago, and it's amazing to see the beginning and now where it is at this point. Just to give you a little tidbit, my great uncle, this play thing runs in my family. My great uncle was a famous director on Broadway, and he was the director of Music Man and Auntie Mame and many others, but he's well known for Music Man. He did it in film and in play, and also Auntie Mame and The Island of Love. And he's no longer here with us, but I think that that's where this all came about. It just kind of unfolded in this way. So I'm sure he's watching somewhere, and I welcome you to the readings. I'm going to be the narrator for tonight, so I'm going to be reading to change my role here a little bit. So Rhonda is going to be reading I'm Not Ready. And my myth is beginning to tatter, that you and Dad will remain ageless to care for me.
Dear Mom, this morning I noticed your arms. We were sitting across from each other in your citrus yellow kitchen having a cup of coffee. And as you lifted your cup, I noticed your doughy arm, the skin loose around the back. Your wrist had lost its definition, like a newborn baby's arm that folds into its hand. And your elbow was fleshy, hiding the bone. And blue veins rose out of the tops of your hands, peeking through the brown age spots. But your fingernails were flawless pink ovals manicured yesterday. And I complimented you on your always perfect nails. And then I began to repeat the litany that had become rote. My good fortune in having you and Dad alive and in reasonably good mental and physical health, still vertical, as I like to put it, but both of you in the winter of your lives, in your full and serene lives. And I opened my eyes and I saw Dad, his arms still strong and muscular. His arms that had built and repaired countless toys, appliances, and his model railroads. But they had written on blackboards and penned books and driven us across country so many hot summers to vacation and learn. And you would sit in the front seat. You would unpin your blouse, crank down all the car windows, and fan yourself. But God, Dad required strong arms to shovel away the Colorado snow some 40 winters ago. And as he reads the newspaper, I notice a slight tremor. So I closed my eyes and I began to repeat the litany again. I am your baby and your only daughter. I'm the one you take care of. But my myth is beginning to tatter, that you and Dad will remain ageless to care for me. And now the sequence is all off kilter, and God, I swear I'm not ready to be the caretaker. And I know, before I leave today, we will have to have the conversation about your move into the retirement facility. And so, I'm prepared with photos and pamphlets and glowing accolades and 100 reasons why it will be great for you and Dad to move now, while you still have your freedom and your health, with fewer obligations to cook and clean and drive and take care of a home. But neither one of you is ecstatic about the idea. So, I will gently remind you of Dad's failing memory. His getting lost in areas, Mom, he's driven over 30 years. Your fainting episode when he had to revive you with CPR. And your pacemaker. And then I think of your incredible memory. I swear, much better than my own. You remember cute things my children did as infants. And hairdos, oh my God, I sported 15 years ago. And you tell me about the first time you met your husband of 69 years for the first time at a sweet 16th birthday party. You remember the dress you wore and what my father, wore. And Dad gets up to go to the kitchen to refill his teacup. And as he pours, hot water spills on the kitchen floor, and we exchange a glance, and you barely shake your head as though you're already reading my thoughts. And Mom, I look at my arms. And they haven't scrubbed the steps or washed the walls or baked the cookies. Legendary cookies that all 5 of your grandchildren swear is manna from heaven. But they also haven't carried the worries that your arms have. My arms have begun to cradle grandchildren. They're still shapely and taut, but yours have cradled great grandchildren. In my arms, they haven't let go of loved ones, but sadly, yours have. So I look at your arms again, and they are gently opening a photo album. And you are lost in your memories. And a gentle smile plays across your face. Maybe we'll talk tomorrow. Your daughter, Sherry.
I gave my daughter our last name. I finally want to break the curse that Florence mothers cannot be there and raise their daughters.
Dear Mother, I need to let you know how I feel about my childhood. Need to tell you this so that I can move on with my adulthood at full speed ahead. Wonder what your childhood was like. Is it as painful and sad as mine? Think about the times you hit me just for telling you I loved you. And I wonder if you thought the emotions were a sign of weakness, because that's what you taught me. Think about the times you tried but failed to kill me because my father denied me. Wonder if it had anything to do with the fact that you and your firstborn share the same father. Think about the times you made me so many promises but never kept one. You never were able to keep not even one freaking promise, Mother. Not one. Shh. Remember the one and only time you ever gave me a compliment. Do you remember? It was right after your mother had died. You looked at me and you said to your boyfriend, "Isn't my daughter getting prettier and prettier every day?" I remember that look on your face. As if you wanted to tell me more. As if you wanted to tell me that it would be okay. And that you were sorry for being such an unwilling mother to me. And that you were going to change. And that from that moment on, you were going to make up for the last 10 years of my messed up life. Well, here I am at 18, Mother. I wonder if it was just me wishing and hoping for that mother that I never had. It's never too late to change. When I think of you, I feel like that 10-year-old little girl, just wishing and hoping. As I tell you this, I believe it's the last chance that I have to have you as a mother. And all I could do is hope. All I can do is hope that I'll be the mother that I always wanted you to be. That I showed my daughter how to be a good and strong woman. That I show her that no matter what, life does go on. Even when life gets so bad that you want to crawl up in a ball and die. But you know what my greatest challenge is going to be? It's going to be having to tell my daughter that she'll never have the chance to meet her grandmother. Because you're nowhere to be found. Oh, but I want you to know. I want you to know that I gave my daughter our last name. Oh, yeah, because I'm going to break that curse. I'm gonna break that curse that says that Florence mothers cannot provide a good and loving home for their daughters. Because me and my daughter, we're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be fine, Mother. You got that? Just fine. We're gonna be just fine. I promise. As long as we remain kind, open, loving, and trusting with one another, we're gonna be just fine. Because if I would have had a good mother, then I would not be in this shelter here in Massachusetts. I would have had the love I needed a long time ago to feel good about myself. I would have gone to school. I would have had a decent job. And I would have had a place of my own. Sure, I wouldn't have had my daughter. Oh, but I thank you, Mother. Oh, I thank you. Because I've had a taste of the real world, and I have my daughter. And although it's been a hard path, I've grown up to be a very strong woman. Your daughter, Lynn.
Don't tell me you're too old to adjust to having a daughter who loves a woman.
Dear Mama, my wedding was beautiful. The only thing missing was you. Imagine for a moment that my brother fell in love with a wonderful woman, someone smart, funny, romantic, and absolutely deserving of his trust and respect. You'd have been thrilled. You'd have enjoyed getting to know her and embarrassing him with cute little stories of stupid things he did when he was 4. You would have remembered her birthday, sent presents for both of them at Christmas. In conversations, you'd slip and say, the kids, when you meant him, me, and her. Their wedding would be the highlight of your year. Oh, you'd brag about it to your friends, write about it glowingly in your annual Christmas letter. Their wedding picture would sparkle on your mantle in a silver frame, and you'd say to her, welcome to the family, and mean it. But I was the one who fell in love with a wonderful woman. Tara is all the things I described and more. She's childlike in the best sense of the word, full of optimism and joy. When I take life too seriously, she's the one that remembers to play. She was the one who told me that I could fulfill my dream of writing a book. And then she sat me down at the computer and said, start writing. Sharing my life with her is the one decision I have never regretted. When we're all in the same room, I mean, you're polite, you try. But when you call and all you can say is, can I speak to Laura? Well, maybe you never noticed how she tries to keep you talking, hoping that once you get to know her, you'll accept her. And maybe 11 months after we moved in together, you didn't think how it might feel when you sent a stack of Christmas presents, all with my name on them. I don't suppose it felt too good on your end when I called and asked you to at least send her a card. You were embarrassed by your own thoughtlessness, and Daddy was mad at me for making you cry. If I'd have married a man, any man, you'd have dropped everything to be there, even if he was an alcoholic or a criminal or a Republican. Well, when you said you weren't coming to the ceremony, I tried to understand, saying it was better that you stay away rather than bring some black cloud over your head. But why should those be my only choices? We had everything. A rose garden, Andrew Lloyd